The Bitcoin thing, well, how long it will stick around as a popular top dog is questionable, because it's inefficient in terms of it's slow. The technology,
It is slow.
There is smarter technology now.
What are we doing, Derek?
So recently, of course, we had the Bitcoin halving for mining.
Yep.
For those who don't know what that means is people would mine for Bitcoin, which means they use big lots of computers to work out very complex mathematical computations to build the blockchain for it, right? And am I getting that right?
No.
Okay.
Offset. They're just trying to do as many as they can possibly do as fast a time period as possible.
Okay.
So it's the blockchain is actually really, really simple and smooth. What happens in business on so many computers, they're looking for abnormalities, and every time they find an abnormality, they get rewarded for keeping it clean. Effectively, they're sweeping all the mistakes out of the system.
Appreciate you doing the technical there for us. So what they've done is they've reduced how many Bitcoin miners in half in terms of the rewards that are available. They're getting less than what they normally did. What's interesting in that is that now these Bitcoin businesses are getting even smarter in how to do that. Now, this generated a lot of electricity, so they were looking at how to run these. Can you run them off solar? The heat generated from them, all this sort of stuff, and then of course the environmental side.
I think it was California actually banned Bitcoin mining,
right,
because of the environmental impact.
Yeah.
So,
but now they're starting to get smarter about it, and they're involving artificial intelligence to actually start mining it. So that's a bit of a game changer moving forward. That'd be.
Here we go.
That's what's going on.
Brandon, I know someone who can talk to you about why crypto has value. I've got his number. I think that'd be a good one to bring him in onto one of your shows. How do you feel about bringing him in onto this show as well?
Absolutely. I think we have to recognise that crypto is not going away.
Yeah.
And
it's definitely here to stay.
Absolutely.
And I think people have to accept, as much as they may not like a centralised digital currency, I cannot see how that's going to get overturned when they're pushing so hard for it on a political level.
Okay.
And international level.
I'll tell you how.
All countries are pushing for it.
No, not. There is pushback in terms of states in the United States.
Yeah, the states are pushing back, but not the countries as a whole.
No, okay, but who's the biggest economy in the world?
At the moment is America, but India and China are rapidly catching up.
Sure. So I think it's not going to be just one size fits all. You've got to remember that the United States is very much into the power of the people, and they are taking back their power right now. Yeah. Now, you've got the Republicans there who are getting voted in for that, and they say, right, we're not accepting a CBDC in the state or whatever.
Yep.
You get enough of those on board, which is very likely to happen in the next 4 years, over the next 4 years, that's going to be a problem, because they'll want a different type of currency as opposed to a CBDC.
Yep.
And that will determine, because of the volume of American producers, will have repercussions on other nations around the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that going to be like the island in the ocean where there's one little safe
haven? I don't think so, because you've got nations that want to side up for defence reasons for the United States, and they'd also do that not just for defence to protect their borders, but also for trade relations. Okay. And so trade is a big one. I mean, you remember Trump was putting sanctions on China during his presidency, saying this is not enough, we're putting tariffs on this in relation to what you're doing. So this is one of the reasons why the BRICS nations have gone against this. America's pushed it too far with the petrodollar, but you're still going to have people who want to do business together.
Oh, of course.
And so I still think, I don't really, maybe some nations that go to CBDCs, but I don't think it'll be a one size fits all.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. I think it's a good 10 years away. I think people have time. I think this is like the early alarm signals. I think people need to get themselves educated on digital currencies as a whole. So I'm talking crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the Doge coins, or the funky ones, the ones that are linked to gold, silver, or the commodities.
And precious metals.
Ones. Precious metals is another one.
Yeah.
I think they've got to be prepared for when the government does pull the trigger to go, right, I know this shit. I know what's going to happen. I know how to defend myself. They need to get educated, and I think shows like Orange Brick Road is great for things for it. I think Bitcoin, I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin, because I consider that the cash of the digital economy. I think this is a changing of like typewriters got dissolved in the paradigm shift. I think this is a paradigm shift when it comes to currencies. The
Bitcoin thing, well, how long it will stick around as a popular top dog is questionable, because it's inefficient in terms of it's slow. The technology,
It is slow.
there is smarter technology now that transmits. You need for countries to do international cross payments. They need something that's very liquid and can do it very efficiently. So you're doing billions of dollars, right? And let's look at it. The foreign exchange market, right, is trillions of dollars a day.
Well,
You've got to have something that can do that very efficiently.
The US dollar to Japanese yen is at 1.3 trillion a day, and that's one crypto pair, currency pair. So it's got to be it. But like everything, like the first car was slow as shit, and now we have full-on, what is it, V6 twin turbo Mustangs that are like quarter miles and like whatever. So I think it is coming to the point where it will get better. There will be new changes, and currencies are going to change. Like if you go all the way back in currencies, obviously it's gone from sticks with little lines on all the way through gold, silver, and now the actual notes. So it will evolve. I think we're still in the early stages. And now's the time to learn.
Bitcoin was the pioneer. Right? Yeah. It's the granddaddy of cryptocurrencies at the moment. Will it stay top coin? That's what I'm questioning. I don't think so, because I think the other technologies will surpass what it can do.
Exactly. So I think
you have to be aware of that in that game space.
And people need to get themselves educated so they understand what's going on, what's coming. Otherwise, they're going to end up like Kodak with like photo paper. Like, come on, when was the last time anyone purchased photo paper or a photo reel? So it's just one of those things. And just to be clear for the people that might be saying, "Oh, he supports central digital currencies." No, I'm just being realistic. I think there's too much motion and movement from the government. I can't see.
Governments will do what's going to bring them prosperity to them as politicians and also to their land. Okay, so if it is profitable to do that, or if it's not profitable to do that, and I think a lot of that is dictated. So I'm saying, watch the United States. It's the giant of them all. Okay,
and that's why I think art sales, especially the really stupid ones, like, oh, here's a bit of mud, throw it on the wall. Oh, $55 million. I think that's one of the reasons why they're laundering a lot of money through art. So when the currency does change, they're able to grab it. And that's my conspiracy for today.
Gonna finish on that note. Okay. It was a boomerang.
You didn't expect that one, did you?
That was one from left field. Okay, cool.
All right, so Josh has a few more comments here. Let's see. Bitcoin has issues with scale. Yep. Speed and too much transparency on transactions. Absolutely agree with that one, but I hate to say it's the most stable one we've got, especially if you want to say cash. What about Chainlink for cross-chain operability? So I have to say Josh is really up to date with his Bitcoin side of things. He teaches me a lot, and that was AW71. And also we have a smart contract on the Ethereum network. Sorry, I keep calling it Ethernet, but that's the internet connection. So
Ethereum.
Sorry, I love my computer techno shit. So I think that we've got. I think we're literally at the start of a paradigm shift. I think this is like Henry Ford bringing out the construction mobile lines. You can have any car you want in any color as long as it's black. So I think we're right at the start, and as the technology improves, as things get better, I think there's going to be more options depending on how open or how hidden you want to be on the digital network side of things. And I think people, again, sounding like a broken record, you need to get your education up now so you're ready for when it comes in.
And the compliance and legislation as well.
Yep.
And that's the big factor as well.
Yeah. It's like business. You don't go just start a business and hope for the best. You just set yourself up properly. You get all your structures sorted out, and then you hit the ground running knowing that you're protected and you know what you're doing. This is the same sort of thing. You jump into the digital world, you know what you're doing first, you get that education, and then you hit the ground running. If you don't want the government to see you, you know where to go. If you don't care, then you know where to go. So.
All right, it's time we all went. So there we go. I'm going to tell you where to go. Fantastic show, guys. Been very strange for me being off camera and in the quiet zone here, but I've really enjoyed it. So say goodbye. Let's get ready for, of course, the replay on Sunday. If you've missed the show today, you can catch us, of course, on Sunday at 5 p.m. But in the meantime, I'd like if I could get you two, Derek, to sort of sum up today, and we'll head off into the music.
Well, I'll bounce off what Travis was saying about your education. I think a wise man foresees danger coming ahead and plans for it to avoid it. It's like a pilot who can see on the radar storm and can decide whether to fly over the storm, around the storm, and pick their path, but still get to the same destination. And I think that's really key in this world today, is to get that education. Don't bury your head in the sand, but go, okay, what do I want for my future? How am I going to get there? How can I set it up to get there? And then make decisions, smart decisions from there. But don't bury your head in the sand. Prepare for the future.
Yeah. For me, it's sort of like a general going into war. They plan for the worst and hope for the best. Like what did Mike Tyson say? You can have any plan in the world until you get punched in the face, then everything goes out the window. So I think you need to know what's coming. You need to plan for it, and you need to know what your fallback strategies are. But to be able to do that, you need to know where you're starting from and where you need to go. So having that education, knowing, right, this is where I am, this is where I want to be, these are all the hiccups along the way, and if this happens, I'll do this. If that happens, I'll do this. And having that knowledge and understanding of where you want to go is absolutely crucial. So, and you are responsible for teaching me how to do that, Derek.
Yeah.
The worst thing I ever was the best and the worst thing. He corrupted me when I did his course, and I understood how
I spoiled you
shit
for
the
life.
government is.
Spoiled you for life and showed you what.
That's
what,
one
what's
way
actually
to
going on.
call it.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, it's the end of the show. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to take off with a little bit of an excess because, quite frankly, I think you both got the little devil inside in the nicest possible way. Thank you for being part of the Greater Wealth here on Edge Radio Australia.